Welcome back to Podcast and Chill. I'm Leo, your favorite host. Well, I hope I'm your favorite. And joining me, as always, is Gwen.
Hi, everyone. I'm not here for jokes, unlike Leo.
Oh, come on, Gwen. We need balance here, you know? I handle the jokes, you bring the facts.
Fair enough.
Speaking of which, do you remember that community post where we asked everyone for podcast topic ideas?
Of course. Any interesting suggestions?
Oh yeah, lots. But one topic kept popping up more than others.
Let me guess. How to laugh at Leo's jokes.
Ah, close, but no. It's how to become the best version of yourself.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but honestly, the best version of myself? That's a lot of pressure.
Well, today we're going to help everyone figure out how to take those first steps, even if it's not perfect.
I like that. So sit back, relax, and let's get into how to become the best version of yourself without all the pressure. Oh, and don't forget, we've prepared a free PDF with tips and resources to help you on your journey.
Make sure to click the link in the description and, most importantly, make a copy so you can edit it yourself.
All right, Gwen, today we're talking about a big topic, how to become the best version of yourself.
Yeah, and that's something people often talk about, but it's not as easy as it sounds, right?
No, it's not. A lot of people think it's just about setting goals, but there's a lot more to it.
True. And I think the first step is self-reflection, taking time to really understand yourself.
Right? It's important to ask yourself questions like, am I living in a way that makes me happy?
Exactly. Or, what's stopping me from growing?
Research from Harvard University shows that people who regularly reflect on their actions tend to make better decisions. That's because they're more aware of what they need to improve.
Reflection, sure, but isn't action just as important? People can get stuck in reflection and not actually move forward.
That's fair. But without understanding what's holding you back, how do you even know what actions to take?
True. But I think people often use reflection as an excuse to delay. You've got to strike a balance.
Fair point. That's where setting goals comes in, right?
Yes, but goals need to be realistic. Too many people set goals that are way too big.
I don't know, Gwen. Big goals can be motivating if you have the right mindset.
I get that. But what happens when they don't reach that big goal right away? That's when people give up.
Yeah, right. That's why I always say, break it down into smaller steps.
Agreed. Research shows that small wins help build momentum. And from there, setting personal goals becomes easier because you know what you want to change.
Yeah, but let's talk about how to set those goals,
A lot of people make goals that are too big or unrealistic.
right? Like saying, I want to be a millionaire by next year.
That's not going to happen unless you win the lottery.
Exactly. Instead, it's better to break big goals into smaller steps.
For example, if your goal is to be healthier, start with something simple, like drinking more water each day.
Right. Research shows that small habits, like walking 10 minutes a day, can lead to long-term change.
That's why building healthy habits is key.
Exactly. But I know some people struggle with self-doubt.
Yeah, that can hold people back. They don't think they're good enough to make changes. Fear plays a big role in that.
I agree. The University of California did a study showing that fear of failure often stops people from reaching their goals. So, how do you push past that?
Well, one thing is to accept that mistakes are part of the process. No one becomes their best self without failing a few times.
So, start small. Don't focus on being perfect. Focus on making progress.
I agree, progress matters more than perfection.
It's like building a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger you get. All right, Gwen, I think it's time to go over some key vocabulary from today's discussion.
Good idea. Let's help our listeners really understand these words.
First up, we have the word reflection. Reflection means thinking deeply about something, especially about your actions and how you can improve. For example, you can reflect on your day before going to bed.
Right, Leo. What's next?
Next, we have goals. A goal is something you want to achieve, like learning English or getting fit.
For example, my goal is to run a race next month.
Great example, Gwen. The next word is habits. A habit is something you do regularly, like brushing your teeth or going for a walk.
Yeah, building healthy habits can make a big difference in your life.
Exactly. Next up is fear. Fear is the feeling of being scared or worried about something, like failing or trying something new. Last but not least, we have progress. Progress means moving forward or improving in something, even if it's little by little.
Like when you practice English every day, you're making progress even if you don't notice it right away.
So, Gwen, we've talked about goals and reflection. But let's dive into something equally important: continuous learning.
Absolutely. The journey of becoming your best self doesn't end with setting goals. It's a lifelong process.
Right? There's actually research from Stanford University that shows people who adopt a growth mindset are more likely to succeed. A growth mindset means believing you can improve through effort rather than thinking your abilities are fixed.
That's really important. It's easy to get stuck thinking, I'm just not good at this, and then never try again.
Exactly. But if you believe you can get better, you'll keep pushing yourself even when things get tough.
That's true for anything in life, not just work or school.
Totally. And there's research from the American Psychological Association showing that people who keep learning new things, even later in life, tend to be happier. It makes sense, right? Learning keeps your brain active and gives you a sense of accomplishment.
Absolutely. It also opens doors to new opportunities, whether it's a new job or just a new hobby.
And here's an interesting study. Research from the University of Texas found that people who continue learning into older age reduce their chances of cognitive decline.
That's pretty powerful. So, learning doesn't just improve your skills, it helps keep your mind sharp too.
Exactly. So, what's your approach to continuous learning, Gwen?
I try to learn something new every day, even if it's small, like reading an article, trying a new recipe, or watching a documentary.
That's great. I think it's all about being curious and open to new ideas.
Exactly. And when you're open to learning, it's easier to adapt to changes in life.
So, what about our listeners? How do you stay curious and keep learning?
And what's something new you've learned recently?
Share with us in the comments.
Another thing that can really help personal growth is surrounding yourself with positive people,
Oh, definitely. The people around you have a huge influence on your mindset and motivation.
right? If you surround yourself with people who encourage you, you're more likely to keep going.
But if you're surrounded by negativity, it's really hard to stay motivated.
That's why it's so important to choose your influences carefully.
There's a famous quote that says, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with."
And that's true, whether it's in your personal life or your career. So think about who you're spending your time with. Are they helping you grow?
Or are they holding you back? Share your thoughts with us in the comments. All right, Gwen, I think it's time to go over some key vocabulary from today's discussion.
Sure, Leo. Let's make sure our listeners understand these words clearly,
First up, we have mindset. A mindset is how you think about things, like how you think about learning or growing.
right? If you have a positive mindset, you believe you can improve with time and effort.
Exactly. Now, the next word is learn. To learn means to get new knowledge or skills.
For example, you can learn new things by reading, watching videos, or practicing.
That's right. The next word is help. Help means to make something easier for someone.
Like when your friend helps you understand something new.
Exactly. And now we have grow. To grow means to become better or bigger over time,
You grow by learning new things and practicing them regularly.
right? And finally, we have change. Change means to make something different.
For example, you can change your daily habits to improve your life.
Exactly. Now, let's ask our listeners a few questions.
Sure, first question. What's one new thing you've learned recently?
Hmm, let me think about that. I recently learned how to make pizza at home. It's really fun, and now I don't have to order pizza all the time.
That's awesome. Now for the second question. What's one change you can make to improve your daily routine?
Hmm, I think I could spend less time on my phone and more time reading.
That's a great idea. We'd love to hear from our listeners too.
What's something new you've learned, and how will you make a positive change? Share your answers in the comments below. Well, Gwen, I think we've had a great talk today,
Yes, Leo. We talked about many important things, like learning and making small changes.
right? And I hope our listeners feel ready to become their best selves.
Me too. Remember, little changes can lead to big results over time.
Exactly. Before we go, don't forget to check out the free PDF in the description below.
Yes, you can make a copy of it and write your own goals and ideas.
It's a helpful tool to keep you moving forward.
And let us know how you're using it in the comments below.
That's right. We'll see you next time on Podcast and Chill.
Thanks for joining us today.
Take care and see you next time.